In episode 1.2 of Unshuffled, we bunker down to ride out the apocalypse and discuss the second Atomic Bitchwax album, Atomic Bitchwax II. But first, to bring us in, here's our awesome intro music from Seven Planets. Hello, Scotty D.
Matt, welcome back. Unshuffled.
Welcome back to Unshuffled. Now, little did we realise when we started this project that it would very quickly turn into a document of two men listening to 20-year-old stoner rock albums while the world outside and the world around them turned into a sort of apocalyptic hellhole. But there you are. That's what it's become.
I do think with this table, I think we're at the right social distance.
So I'm not sure.
I do think we're doing our due diligence.
I'm just hiding behind my pop filter.
Just keep sneezing to a minimum, and I think we're okay.
Yeah, it's realistically and seriously, it is a scary time around the world. And at times like this, I mean, what better solace, and I'm not talking about the band solace, of course, but what better solace than music? And, you know, it's often at the most difficult times in your life, in my life, that music takes on a more important role than ever, and I think this is one of those times.
So I can always pinpoint, like, when I go through and listen to bands or albums or CDs, and I can usually it locks in a moment that gets triggered.
Yeah.
For Atomic Bitchwax sake, I hope they don't become my Corona band.
Yeah, it's becoming that way a little bit, but at the same time, I'll be thankful for them, you know, for helping me get through this difficult time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm glad we chose something cheerful anyway.
Right. we should, it's probably worth noting that the next episode we might end up having to try something different, as we are going to be scattered to far-flung reaches of the globe.
Packing up our families and heading for the hills.
But this one, we're here.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Getting out of Dodge, that's an American saying.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
All right.
Run to the hills, that's an Iron Maiden
song. But look, we'll work that out. The important thing is that we will continue. So don't fear, listener. You'll keep hearing our voice, even if it's from the other side of the world. One of us will get the pleasure of recording it in the morning, and perhaps the other one in the middle of the night or something. We'll work it out.
Yeah, someone's getting screwed on this. All right.
So it's Unshuffled. We're working through album by album, song by song. Our band is Atomic Bitchwax. We're up to the second album, Atomic Bitchwax II. So you're going to hear all about it in this episode. You'll hear our thoughts track by track. You'll hear the band Brownlow. And you'll get various musings on the album overall. So a few predictions about the next album. And, you know, some other banter along the way. Listener feedback. We have no new messages. As I said, though, you can contact us through our various channels, Gmail, through Twitter, UnshuffledPod everywhere. So please send us a message if you hold down wherever you are in the world and working your way through these albums with us. We'd love to hear from you.
And follow us on Twitter. We found some entertaining songs to wash your hands to.
Yeah. One from this album. We'll get to that. Entombed works for me too.
All right, I'm going to jump in.
Yeah, so give us the album details.
Release date. This album was released on... actually, I got the full date on this. October 31st of 2000. It was a little, I think, because I believe the last one was released in the summer of 99, and this one's October of 2000, so a little over a year. It was, again, produced by Atomic Bitchwax with Eric Rachel or Rachel or whatever, however we've decided to say his last name. This one was recorded at 2 different studios, still at Trax East, where the last one was recorded, but then also recorded at Ioho Studios in New York. And then the lineup has not yet changed. We've got Chris Kosnick on bass vocals, and, however, we've thrown in some organ.
Yep.
He's doing the organ. We've got Ed Mundell on guitars. We've got Keith Ackerman on drums. And we do have, and we'll probably get to that, I'm sure, but special guest appearance of Warren Haynes.
Yeah. Yeah, which is a real highlight. Okay. What do you, firstly, talk to me about how you listened to the album. What sort of experience you've had over the last couple of weeks, generally, as you've worked your way through it.
So
I'm always interested in the method as well.
Well, I still don't have the physical, but some of these I am actually going to the place where I'm going to be able to get my hands on the physical copies of these. And in fact, I think I don't have the third one. I have these first 2 waiting for me. But anyway, I listened to it again. It was digital. I listened to it through my multiple digital devices. And I think at least my first impressions were this one felt sort of more jammy and less spacey. I felt that there were a little bit of those elements, and I'll talk more about that as we kind of get through the songs, but that was the first thing that struck me. The other thing that struck me that I will probably get into more is that, and I don't know if it's the means of how I acquired this, but it sounded more compressed. It didn't, that's my big takeaway, that I think the drums in the first album had this very sort of I don't know, it was almost like there was a depth to the drums, and here they felt flat, and I don't know if that's the recording, if it was the compression. I'm not sure.
I certainly agree. It didn't sort of slap you in the face like the first one on that first listen. To me, the first one, and we discussed it, had a real live feel to it. So to me, it's almost like this was their studio album. The second one was their studio album. The first one was their live album. It is much more polished, much more refined, production-wise, for better or worse. I'm thinking maybe, like Mundell had just come off recording one of the most immaculately produced albums I can ever think of, which was Power Trip. So I'm wondering if some of the sort of studio, the techniques, that came from recording that rubbed off on this album. Whether it was a conscious decision by the band or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, certainly compressed, as you say. Maybe it's a product of the loudness wars that was sort of happening at the time. I don't know. But it does lack that raw, live-ish kind of edge that the first one had in production, for sure.
I am curious. They have and I have not listened to it. I have it within my grasp, but I still haven't listened to Box Riff, their live album. And there are a couple songs from here that show up on there. And some of these songs, I think, or you just sort of like hearing them live is probably a completely different experience than hearing it on the record.
Problem is they don't really play many of them live.
No.
In their in their sets these days. There's only one song from this album that tends to feature in their
which
set
one?
lists. The second one, 45.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think on Box Riff 45, the Cloning Chamber, and maybe that's it. I guess it's just those two.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Now, just before we get into the track by track, I just want to set things up and sort of plant my flag early on this album.
Yeah.
I am going to be defending this album to the hilt against some pretty severe critical reviews that I've read. Now, I've mentioned my friend Mr. Rivadavia, and I love his reviews, and he's been responsible for so many great finds throughout my life. So he's the all-music guy. I actually noticed that his reviews now filter through into Spotify. So when you look up the band's bio on Spotify, you get the Eduardo Rivadavia all-music review. So this album was panned by him and one or two others. So in the band bio, you know, it's really criticised. Let me see in the band bio. And again, this is what... So anyone who looks up or listens to this album through... or this band, I don't think the album's on Spotify. Well, it's up to you how you listen to music, but it's always better to just get the CD and listen to it, I think, than be tempted by that horrible shuffle on Spotify. Isn't
that why we're doing this?
Exactly. So in the band bio, it says the 2000 sophomore effort, Atomic Bitchwax II, was clearly rushed. Its songs underwhelmingly second rate, and the media-shy Mundell struggled to come to terms with his more prominent status as star of the group. He's less scathing in the review of the album itself, but, I mean, that is, to me, that's pretty heavy criticism. Now, I used to write reviews, never anything huge, but one of the things I struggled with as a reviewer was I kind of like all music, really. Like, I always found, when a band's having a go, who am I to say that's no good, was always my point of view. So it was always like, well, this is the lowest I'd give would be like 8.5 out of 10 or something. Like, I could never bring myself to say this is awful when the band's trying. And I also struggle with just like how many different ways can you describe a heavy music and riffs. Like, I just ran out of metaphors in the end. But yeah, I just found it really harsh, that criticism, and I, not only that, but I completely disagree with it. I think I really enjoyed this album, so I'm just going to be defending this. I just want to put it out there from the word go that I will be defending this album and trying to restore its status in music history. I think this has been underrated or criminally underrated and ignored and misunderstood. I hope when the time comes that this gets its 20th anniversary re-release too, just like the first one, because I think this deserves it.
I read that review, and I remember what stuck with me was when he called it rushed. And I think that's I started this at the top by noting the time distance from one album to the other for that reason. Mm-hmm. And that was what I was trying to process, was it rushed? But if we go back to what we talked about before, these guys have been together since, 93?
Mm-hmm.
I would believe they had more in their pocket than the 11 songs that were released on the first album over that period of time. So as I was listening, several of these songs sound like they probably started with grooves that they'd been working on for time, or over a period of time. So whether I don't know if it was, yes, it did come out quickly after the first one, but I don't know that I agree that it was rushed. That the quality, I feel like the quality of, now my issues with the sound quality, but the quality of the songs, I think definitely holds up.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I agree. I don't like the production as much, but I like the songs perhaps almost equally. In fact, my favourite song across the two albums is on this one. My favourite instrumental across the two albums is on this one. I'm
going to be curious to hear which song that is, because I think my favourite song across the two albums is also on this one.
Yeah, and like I'm struggling to find a weak song on it. I mean, one or two maybe, but this is a really good album for me, and so I'm going to be defending it. I'm going to be talking it up. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to discussing it track by track. Artwork first.
Oh, yeah.
But first, a word from our sponsor. Insert sponsor name here.
Paying the bills.
Yep.
All right, thoughts on artwork. I guess we didn't come out and say it last time. We kind of danced around it.
We did. We danced.
The album cover for this does feel less misogynistic than the last one. This one feels... I'm trying to bring it up right now, but well, I guess you had described it when we were talking about it as more arty.
Yep. It's more stylized.
I
think it was the combination of, in particular, the combination of the artwork and the lyrics of one of the songs that gave it that misogynistic sort of vibe, that first one that we danced around.
Well, and I think her in the heels added, I don't know what it was, but that sort of added an element of,
Yeah. But yeah, I think this one is a bit less so. Similar sort of style though, the purples, there's a woman on the cover, but I think it's a little more...
It feels more spacey. It's more like she's wearing... I can't tell if that's a space helmet.
Yeah, or is she a robot? I don't know.
Or a robot, yeah. Same guy.
Yeah, Orion Landau.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I prefer this artwork. All right, shall we get into it track by track?
Let's do it.
All right. So,
I'm going to start off because I think Ice Pick Freak,
yep,
the first song, it's a pretty straightforward groove.
Yeah,
but as far as album intros go, I think it's great. I think this is the perfect song to even start a concert to just kind of get everybody sort of in that groove, kind of wake everybody up, let everybody know the band's... I thought this was a great opening track.
Yeah, I was a little coloured in my... You'd given me a description of this song before I heard it, and it reminded me a little bit, for some reason, of the intro to the Blues Brothers band concert. Here they are, back on their exclusive tour of Europe, Scandinavia, and the subcontinent. It's certainly a rollicking intro, a rollicking opener. I thought maybe it's a little too rollicking. It almost has a bit of a comical, like it's too fun. Would be my criticism. I would have liked a little bit more of an edge, but it had some of those things that I was looking for from the first album. It had the space lasers, no baseballs yet, but there was an awesome bass effect and a cosmic run about halfway through where sort of everyone stops and we get this, Cosmic just has his moment in the sun.
Did you pinpoint which song the baseballs shows up on?
Hopefully I've made it. I think I've made a note in my list. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it appears in a slightly muffled form, but I'm pretty sure I heard the baseballs later on.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, a fun start, not necessarily a completely memorable track, but it serves its purpose as an album opener and gets the mood set, I suppose.
Track 2, 45. So this is one you were saying that they still play live. Mm-hmm. And this is also, so Ice Pick Freak is also on Box Riff.
Right.
But so is this one. And I will listen to this because I am curious. I don't know. I heard this one was okay. It didn't, nothing about this song in particular jumped out at me.
Okay. All right. Because I'm much more enthusiastic about this one. I love the phased drum intro. It's got a much tighter feel than anything from the first album, which isn't a bad thing. To me, the tight feel comes from a couple of things. Firstly, a very mechanical riff, which, and we had the discussion about, is this stoner rock or not? This feels like a stoner rock song. There's closed cymbals, which were very rare in the first album. So, what's his name? Ackerman really sits back in this song and is much more restrained than, again, pretty much anything we saw on that first album. This is the first time we hear the vocals on this album, and I think that the vocals are an improvement on the first album. They're more refined, and perhaps you like the raw edge of the vocals in the first album. That's gone. There's some effects layered on the vocals, but yeah, a quite restrained feel through the verses. Still no simple rock beats from Ackerman. I don't think he's capable of playing just a straight rock beat, and he's still putting little offbeats here and there. But I love this song. I really enjoyed it. It was actually in the running for my favourite songs off the album. I'd love to see it live. I would have loved to see it when Mundell was in the band, because it's got a howling solo in the sort of second half that, I mean, and any idea or any criticism that Mundell is somehow not tuned in for this album, or he's phoned it in or whatever, I mean, this solo just blows that notion away.
He did call him the leader of the band, though, as he was criticizing.
Well, look, I love this song. From the phased drum intro, and I don't mind the fact that it's got a little bit of restraint throughout it. It's different to the first album, but I'm happy to hear some evolution from the band and a little bit more space in the song. But they're still, when they let it rip, they still let it rip.
Yeah. I think it was, as you were describing, I think it was the restraint where I was kind of waiting for them to open up a little bit more.
Yep.
And I do get that later.
Yep.
But I didn't get that here. And
right.
I guess, so that was my first take. I know that as I've listened through this, there are two songs that sometimes I'll just kind of pass through and just jump into the next one. And that is one that I've been guilty of.
Okay. No, I'm the opposite. I'll jump to this song and listen to it all. All right. Do you want to fight about it?
No.
Arm wrestle?
All right. This wasn't your favorite song. I didn't hit
It's not my favorite.
But it's up there.
Certainly not my favorite, but yeah, one that I'm happy to go back to and still love hearing every time.
All right. Well, I will give it a closer
listen.
You know what? I really wanted. This is one. What's interesting is that when you said that this is one they still play live.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to hear the live version.
Yep.
And I will as soon as we're done recording this.
Plenty of YouTube clips out there of gigs with this in it.
And I bet I'm imagining they probably do open up live in the way that I am sort of. Who knows? I'll listen to it live and we'll have that chat.
Yep.
Next episode.
Yeah, and Box Riff as well. No,
Yep.
not Box Riff. What's it called?
The live album? Box Riff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll give that a listen as well.
Yep.
All right, shall we get on to the cover?
Yes.
The cover song. Only one cover on this album.
Yeah, no, it's the only cover.
Yeah, I thought there was another one later on, but I realised after a few listens it wasn't. But yeah, this is the cover.
Had you heard of Atomic Rooster?
Yeah, I had.
To this?
So, a quick anecdote. So when I was growing up, I grew up in a country town called Ballarat, which was about 110 kilometres from the major city, Melbourne. And the only way I could get Melbourne radio stations was by running an antenna out my bedroom window and hanging it off the pergola out the side of the house. So that's how I would listen to Melbourne stations. And there was one show on a public radio station called Triple R, called Galactic Zoo, which was on a Thursday night about 8 or 9:30, and they would play 70s, I guess, proto-stoner bands. When Hendrix, in the wake of Jimi Hendrix, there was a whole bunch of psychedelic rock bands in the UK and the US, of which Atomic Rooster were one. Bands like Mountain and I guess Rainbow kind of Captain something.
Beefheart,
Beyond something, I don't know. But yeah, this show just played all these early 70s cool, trippy rock bands, and Atomic Rooster was one that I remember. From the Far Reaches of the Universe was the intro to the radio show.
Was it this song? Do you remember what song it was?
No, I
wouldn't
remember a specific song, but I do remember the band.
Stylized with the three O's. Do you have to sound that out? Do you suppose it's Atomic Rooster?
Are there 3 O's?
There are 3 O's.
No.
There are 3 O's in some appearances. I don't know if it was
That's
I don't know if that might have been the album that had the Atomic Rooster debut album. Might have been the 3 O's.
All right. Yeah. As far as I know, the band's only got 2, but perhaps one of our listeners can write in and
my half-ass internet research. That's what I.
Yeah.
That's what I turned up.
Yeah, that's
3 O's.
That's just because your finger got stuck on the key there.
I had not heard of Atomic Rooster prior to this, and so I did go back and look for them, and I listened to their original version of the song.
Yeah, what do you think of the original?
I'm intrigued. I am intrigued by the band.
Yeah.
I like the sound. It's definitely of its time.
Yep. It's much slower, the original.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's the same song. I prefer the Bitchwax version.
I do too. In fact, there was kind of so there are a couple songs on this album that when listening to them sort of, I don't know, I got kind of a vibe of another band, and this one there was sort of an older Corrosion of Conformity feel to it.
Okay.
That I liked. I quite liked, actually.
Okay. And this is the first time we hear keyboard on the album.
Yes, that's right. This is where that makes the debut, the organ.
In that intro, and then again throughout the song, that dun 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 intro. I'm assuming it's a Hammond. I don't know, but is there any other type of keyboard? There's a great riff after he says "coming to you now." There's a really fun riff that sort of stayed with me. The song changes towards the end and gets back. It sort of peters out a little bit, I think, towards the end. This song, but I mean they didn't write it, so it's not their fault. But certainly enjoyed it. Nice mid-tempo, groovy riff, and a really good cover choice, I thought. Suits the band, and I love it when a band reinterprets and brings something new to an old song, and I think they do it. They do that.
They do it without. They still maintain the soul of the song.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is important.
Yep. Agreed. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. Shall we move on?
Smokescreen. Track 4.
Smooth. I've got smooth written in capital letters with an exclamation point at the end of this one.
It's, Warren Haynes definitely cleans things up, doesn't he?
Yeah, so this has got a smoky kind of jazz club almost intro. The song that called to mind for me in terms of the vibe was Evidence by Faith No More. Just let's all put our smoking jackets on and just sit back in our, slick back our hair and
I can hear that.
So and this is our guest. So I know nothing about the guest guitarist on this song, so perhaps you can fill us in on your knowledge of him.
Warren Haynes was, or is, Government Mule.
He is a Government Mule?
He is. He is. Well, he's the main fella in Government Mule. I don't know, actually. I'm aware of Government Mule. I've heard Government Mule, but I can't tell you much more about them. They lost their bass player, and I'm embarrassed to say I don't remember his name off the top of my head, and they put out a few Alan Woody was the bass player's name, and they put out a couple tribute albums to him that were really good called I think Off the Deep End, and they just got substitute bass players to come in and play these songs that Alan Woody had either helped to write or just really liked. And they had Flea and Jason Newsted and just anyway. That was kind of really where I was introduced to Government Mule, and so that was I think 2001. But prior to this, actually, and that's it. I don't know. I've not followed them much.
Yeah.
I think he started in the Allman Brothers.
Right. But yeah, he certainly does clean things up, as you said. It's that word restraint. I've written that again. It's evident again on this song. I couldn't imagine this on the first album.
No.
This is.
Yeah, no.
This is a second album song.
Right.
There's some keys again. Some delicate hi-hat work that again, there's no way that would be on the first album. Lovely bass line holding the whole song together, and Cosnick's just the glue that holds this song, the whole album really together. I didn't take the time to work out who was playing which solo, but there is a lovely bluesy wah-wah solo in this one.
I thought on first listen, I thought that I could tell.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty obvious who was who. But then I went back and listened again, and I don't think it is. I don't think it's as obvious as I thought it was.
Okay.
I think Ed Mundell maybe kind of cleaned himself up a little bit too. Sort of cleaned up his guitar to get in there also.
Okay. Of course, two guitarists means they're not going to be able to play this live.
And they don't, do
no,
they?
they don't, which is a shame. But yeah, this is a nice... This is just a good song, and it's a song that you can sort of... Even non-hard rock and non-stoner rock or metal fans will appreciate this one. It's got a sort of jazzy, bluesy feel, and very laid back kind of vibe. Recommended.
So now it brings us to the middle of the album.
Yeah, now
Cast Aside Your
up to this
Masks.
point we've had spacey 45, like space in the song, closed cymbals, mechanical riff,
Circus intro.
we've had, apart from that, but we've had the mid-tempo cover and now a really restrained bluesy song. It's starting to make you wonder, what's happened to the old Bitchwax? But we get them back. We get them back in the second half of the album. And the thing that, the biggest clue that they're back is the return of the alien robot voice.
But post-puberty, it's deeper. It's a
Yeah, a
deeper
little bit.
robot voice.
Yeah, his voice is broken. So, back to the well with this little gimmicky robot intro, but hey, I don't mind. It's good fun, and I actually love the last line. Something about being under the star of a new god. It was kind of cool, very metal. And here we get back to frenetic was that word you were using on the first album, and all right, we're back to frenetic here.
So here it is. I love this song.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I keep coming back to. This is the song that when I put this on, I'm going to listen to this album and I only have just a little bit of time, I jump straight to this song.
Right.
It's
Cast Aside Your Masks is the song.
Cast Aside Your Masks. And I wrote favorite with a question mark.
Okay.
Because it was between this and another song. And I came back and it was like, yeah, I think this is the one. I even love the rhythm that when he's singing that line, burned out baby back in 72, got the one, are you done? Right? That whole, just sort of even the bouncy rhythm that he's using while he's singing that. And I think the lyrics are probably maybe 12 lines that just get repeated 3 times over.
Yeah, so this was the hand-washing song.
This was the hand-washing song.
From this album.
And it's...
Maybe we can put a link to that in the show notes.
And so we start off with the robot sounds. As I said, I love just the play on the bounciness of the vocal melody.
Do you remember the fill? There's a fill straight after the intro, and it's Ackerman, there he is.
Yep, there's the fill, but then there's also that really cool bass run that's happening over some of the space sounds.
Yeah. All I wrote is Cosnick. I can't remember, but he must be doing something good. Yeah. Great song. My only complaint, I think I had something similar last album, was that I didn't think the intro, the alien robots taking over the world voice, matched the lyrics. Burned out baby back in 72.
Yeah. Here's this thing. I keep thinking about non-metal. Here, follow me for a second.
Yeah.
So Sturgill Simpson just released his newest album. I'm not going to come up with the name of it right now, but a couple months ago. And with it, he released this sort of Japanime kind of stylized cartoon about the end of the world. And it's sort of just, it's almost even like do you remember Heavy Metal?
The magazine?
No, the cartoon.
Yeah, or the cartoon / magazine.
Right, okay. So, but there was that whole, it was sort of like Hot Rods in Space kind of feel to it. And that's the vibe I picked up off the last album, and that's kind of the vibe that I get off of this album too. And so with that said, I guess that's where I do feel there's a connection between sort of just maybe not the lyrics, but the definite feel, the way that he's singing.
All right.
Sort of that stylistic, kind of it's like a post-punk kind of feel that,
Okay. So the intro matches the vibe of the song, but not necessarily the lyrics themselves. I mean, I thought the intro might have gone better with the next song, which is an instrumental. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Great song all the same. It could have been. This is the one I thought could have been a single.
Yeah, I could see that.
If they had been doing that. It's got a catchy chorus.
I do feel, and there's something about this song, and we'll get to it, but this song and track 7 seem to fit together in a way that, like, this could have been an A-side, B-side.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yep. But yeah, just an excellent song. Terrible advice, though, in this time of COVID, to cast aside your masks. Don't listen to that, listeners. Keep them on. And wash your hands, too, which you can do by following the link in the show
And don't
notes.
take ibuprofen, apparently.
Oh, well.
That's the...
I don't know. Who knows?
All right.
Cloning chamber. So we've got
Cloning
So
chamber.
we've got an instrumental. Keys again. Not a huge amount of keys in cloning chamber. Just a little embellishment on the riff, on the opening riff. There was a part. I've just written Wolf Mother in my notes. There was a part that reminded me of Wolf Mother with a sort of with a keysy, riffy bit. Later in the song.
Was that around, I think I marked that too, it was around like the 1:30 mark.
Yeah, something
where
like
they all
that.
kind of join in and do their little thing, yeah.
Yeah, nice sort of soaring Wolf Mothery bit. A band that followed 15 years after them. And some great cosmic work throughout, and especially towards the finish.
These 3, 5, 6, and 7, like 6 sort of served this instrumental, to me, the way that I envisioned it, was sort of like this instrumental bridge between 5 and 7. And almost like these 3 songs could have easily been put onto the first album.
Yep. Agreed.
And yeah, it was just, I saw it as sort of a bridge. It's getting me from track 5 to track 7.
Yep. So let's talk track 7, Marching on the Skulls of the Dead.
It continues with that same vibe, that same feeling. And I feel like but it's not, this song didn't quite do it as much for me as Cast Aside Your Mask. There was something about it. There really was that whole, as I was said before, and that sort of that rhythm and the flow of the lyrics that I really enjoyed about track 5. It wasn't quite there in track 7. And in fact, track 7 has a moment, again, if it's the middle or kind of closer to the end, where everything sort of kind of slows down, which is fine, but it kind of brings that, I guess, trilogy, for lack of a better, that trio of songs, it sort of brings that to an end, maybe a little bit sooner than I wanted.
I'm sorry to hear that. To me, this is the song across both albums.
Oh, this is the one.
This is it.
See?
I love this song, and this is the one that, if I'm making a mix tape for someone and I want an Atomic Bitchwax song to put on it, I'm putting this one on it. Why? Okay, we've got this tub thumping intro, so we get that instant Ackerman hit, a beautiful setup, just laying the foundation in those first few bars for what's to come. And then I think every great riff, no, not every great riff, but the greatest riffs in musical history all start with this sound. They're the big ones, and when you've got 4 counting them in, there's a big riff coming up. And this riff, oh man, this does things to me, this riff, because it's a long riff, and it's just beautiful. It's heavy, but it grooves. It's brilliant. It's and look, they can do what they want, really. Like the middle section, maybe it ends too soon. Maybe the vocal effects are a bit iffy, but this riff alone is worth the price of admission. And this is this does it for me.
So
there is also a great wah-wah solo that I actually, for the first time, called to mind Kirk Hammett for me. So this had a metal vibe to it. Maybe it's just the song title, Marching on the Skulls of the Dead, that put me in that sort of a mood. There was some Ackerman restraint against some closed cymbals, but yeah, it's just the riff, and then I thought the rest of the song was built around that central riff and did it justice.
No, I had no idea this was your favorite as we were walking. We hadn't revealed that to each other.
Yep.
But this was the other one that I had written favorite.
Yeah.
And then I had to come up with some way to distinguish which one was going to take it.
Right.
And I'm stand by my Cast Aside Your Masks, but this one was a close second for me.
All right. So yeah, just to be clear, in that riff, it's a great riff, and then it's that last diddle-diddling ding. So it's the way the riff finishes. I don't know. I think it's great. So yep, great song, love it, and worth a listen if you haven't listened to it yet. Listener.
All right, track 8.
Dishing out
a heavy dose of tough love. I like the title.
Yeah. As a parent, I mean, sometimes it's necessary.
Another instrumental,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good. It's a good instrumental.
I was worried. I was worried coming off the previous 3 songs. I was thinking we're due for a throwaway, and that opening riff almost confirmed that for me. That I just thought that a bit simple. Haven't sold me on that. But then there's a slow and stylish bit later on. There's some nice. This is a cosmic song. This is the Baseballs. This is the Baseballs song.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the opening sort of minute, but then the middle section of this song and the work by Cosnick and the reappearance of the Baseballs is enough to say no, it's not a throwaway. This song still has plenty of merit.
This one picks up, and it has a good ending, which leading us into the next song. Solid. Now,
so we'll go there.
I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. I will say that when I first heard this song, I found myself thinking, what are they doing?
Really?
And then I went back and listened to it again, and I liked it. I did like it. I get they're trying to do something different.
Sounds like Green Eggs and Ham.
They are trying to do something. They are trying to do something different. And I do like the lyrics are ridiculous, but as far as sort of the groove and the melody and what they were trying to do with it, I did like it.
Yeah. So I knew that this band had covered Pink Floyd. I read that somewhere, and on listening to this for the first 2 or 3 times, I just assumed this was the Pink Floyd cover. Until I stopped and listened to the lyrics and thought, hang on, Pink Floyd were better than that.
Right.
This sounds like just some deadbeat sort of roommate knocking on your bedroom door, or housemate, wanting to borrow some money or something. This is their, I guess, the formula of the previous album was their longer song. This is their experimental Mundell noodling. You've got your sort of backtracked or backmasked cymbals. If you're in the mood for something a little psychedelic, I imagine there's a time and a place for this song. That time and place hasn't yet been there for me. I imagine, get home after a big night or a late night or something, and you just want something you're about to go to bed, or there's probably a mood where this song fits.
I feel like this song has a story. I feel like if we had one of the Atomic Bitchwaxers here, they'd at least be able to shed insight on who Nolly is. And I feel like that this is sort of the lyrics behind the song are kind of an insider, where there's like 8 guys that hear the song and they're like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that night. I don't know. I suspect that if I listened to this song at the right time, in the right mood, I would really, really like it. It hasn't quite happened for me yet, but that's okay. It's a mind-expanding vibe. Like, the music is mind-expanding, juxtaposed with this...
Could you do me a solid, will you?
Banal lyrics. It's a bit of a waste for me. If it was something philosophical or something psychedelic, or there was something to make you go wow, in that stereotypical way, but it's not. A bit of a waste, I think. Probably some in-joke, as you say, but not being a part of an in-joke. Anyway.
I don't imagine they ever envisioned this album being discussed, but
20 years later.
20 years later by 2 people
pandemic.
in Jakarta, Indonesia, right? Who are using it to get through Corona.
Yes. On that note, a word from our sponsor. We're welcome. Sponsors are welcome.
Actually, let's hold that thought.
Oh, and our other sponsor.
There we go. Sponsored up. All right.
Bring
it on.
We're
home.
Almost done. So
track 10.
So whereas the first album finished with the long song, this one finishes with a more traditional sort of screaming guitar, Bitchwax classic.
So here's where I am with this. I do like how this album is bookended. And I appreciated Ice Pick Freak more when I got to Liquor Queen. And I do like the bookends on this album. I like the way it comes in, and I like the way it goes out. They did do another version of this song on the Spit Blood EP, which is almost, not quite, but almost twice as long. And they added more to it. And first off, it's track 2 on the EP, so it doesn't have that sort of ending an album. It wasn't intended to end an album. And the song didn't need to be longer. As when I heard a longer version of it, I realized that wasn't necessary. This song I feel like it does a really good job of getting done when it needs to get done in that short amount of time.
Yeah, I think it should be and is a short song. To me, this is a Mundell showcase. The screaming guitars. It reminded me of something that could belong on an intro to a drag racing show or some sort of, that kind of vibe to it. There's some nice Ackerman fills. This is the one perhaps that comes closest to being a throwaway for me. The guitar work's good. Who am I to criticise, as I said earlier, but if I had to skip one, it's not one that I would go out of my way to queue up, as I would with tracks 5 to 7, or Play the Game, or 45, or Smoke. There's so many great songs on this album. I don't think this qualifies as one of them.
Yeah,
agreed.
I agree.
So that's it. That's the album. We now need to consider we've got our favourite. So yours was
Cast Aside Your Masks.
Cast Aside. Mine was Skulls of the Dead. Least favourite, mine was probably Liquor Queen.
Yeah, yes. But I feel like, I still hold on to the idea that I like it as a bookend, but it is, I guess, with that said, Yes, it would be my least favorite track on the album.
But you didn't like 45 either, which was a surprise.
I know I liked 45. It's just I found that it. I did not like it, but I was that I would skip past that song, and I also found that there were a couple times through the listens that I would skip over Cloning Chamber to hurry up and get to Marching on the Skulls of the Dead.
Understandable when you got that riff to look forward to. So let's talk band Brownlow. We were going to come up with a better name than that.
Well, you said Down Low last time.
We
That
can go with
seemed
that.
all right.
I don't know. Australian football, what a sport. You know, it's the one sport in the world that's still going ahead. So, sports fans.
And marble racing.
Yes. Go the Comet.
Apparently that's a thing now.
The Blue Comet. What a comeback. I thought it was gone. Yeah. So 3, 2, and 1. I haven't yet put the tally from the last album, but they actually came out when we did it. All the band members are equal at this point. They're all on 4 points because we both had Cosmic second.
We ranked them. Yeah, right.
So,
all right.
So it's delicately poised, which I think, to me, that captures that first album perfectly. It was just a great team effort. Is this equally a great team effort? Well, let's hear.
I'm going to let you start this one, actually.
All right.
I'm still, I need to say that I'm still wrestling with my 1 and 2.
Okay. My 3 is, just reading through the notes, the person that I've written the most is, and I mentioned him before, the glue that holds this album together is Cosnick. He's my best on ground. He is, although we've lost the baseballs, we haven't lost the baseballs completely, but this is just some lovely work from Cosnick, and a couple of songs where he really gets put front and center. Smokescreen, that the smooth bass throughout that, and then again those runs under the solos, just like in the first album. He was in the running for the last album. I think he deserves his spot with the 3 votes here. Do you want to give me your 3? Or do you want me to go through mine?
Well, so
I'll go through mine.
I'll tell you where I'm torn. I'm torn between Cosnick, just because first off his the bass runs that he does here, but even the organ. He's bringing the organ into this, and is
that Cosnick on the organ?
It is Cosnick on the organ.
You sure?
That's what it said when I looked up the.
I saw someone else's name on.
Oh, did you? All right, I'll.
Jordan Shapiro.
Half-ass internet research.
Yeah.
I'll go back and I'll confirm that.
Yeah, we'll check that for you, listener.
But the other thing that I kind of want to give it to Mundell.
Really?
He brought in. I know.
This is his phoned it in album, according to.
I know. But he brought in Warren Haynes and went toe to toe with him, and he does as you were going through and describing several of the solos as screaming guitar solos, and I do kind of think that. Yeah, I'm torn between. Okay, here I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna go on to your number 2. We're going to find out if Cosnick played the...
Okay, so Mundell gets my 2. For that reason, there's some great solos again, and I just want to defend him as much as anything. At this stage, yes, he was sort of achieving stardom in Monster Magnet. I think he's brought some of that Monster Magnet big band mentality back with him to this little side project in inverted commas. But yeah, there's one of the things there's still some of that classic Mundell sort of noodling experimentation, space lasers, but also really love the fact that he has a few different facets to his playing style. We see him, as you said, go toe to toe with Haynes. There's some screaming solos, there's some wah-wahs, there's some bluesy stuff, so some nice variation in his styles, enough to get the 2 votes from me.
All right, Jordan Shapiro played organ on Play the Game.
Right.
And it looks like Kosnick played Vox organ on the rest of the track,
Okay.
rest of the album.
Okay. Which was mainly what? There was some organ on Smokescreen and some organ on Cloning Chamber.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up, Internet.
All right.
So yeah, there's my 3, 2, and 1. Kosnick, Mundell, which leaves Ackerman and
as your one.
He's another great performance from Ackerman. Still plenty of those great fills. I love his big tubs at the start of my favourite song. So it's certainly not, there had to be someone get the one. But yeah, it is a little more restrained than that virtuoso performance we heard on the first album.
All right, I'm doing it. Mundell's getting my 3.
Cool.
Kosnick's
Take that, Rivadavia.
Kosnick's getting my 2, and Ackerman's getting my 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now Ackerman was my 3 last time. I think I just basically flipped Ackerman and Mundell.
All right, we're gonna have to keep track of this on a spreadsheet.
You're the spreadsheet guy.
Yeah, I am.
Well, all right.
I sure am. All right. Well, we're just about up to any side listens that were happening through this. I mean, we can. Anything further you want to add about this album before we wrap it up?
I'm the only thing I could say. I mean, nothing. I think I've said. I don't really have much to say more about this.
Do you think it's been unfairly panned?
I absolutely do, and I would love to hear I want to hear the vinyl when I get my hands on the vinyl.
Yeah.
But if that's even possible.
No, I've got a CD sitting in London somewhere.
And so I would hope that it gets re-released because I
TP,
want to hear.
Please re-release this. Thank you.
I do want to hear how this is supposed to sound.
Any colour preference while they're listening? Purple. It's got to be purple, doesn't it?
It's got to be purple.
Yeah.
Purple, or I think there's some orange going on in there too.
Mm.
But I'm. This is gonna be. I mean, we're moving into, and we'll talk about this, but this is our last dance with Mundell.
I know, it's sad, isn't it?
And so I'm ready to hear number 3 though, because I don't know Finn Ryan as a guitarist, but I have read reviews that have all been positive about what he brings to the band. So I'm very curious to hear 3.
Yep. The contrarian in me was determined to conclude this podcast by saying this is a better album than the first one. I can't quite bring myself to say that, but to say this is a weak album, I think, is way off the mark. I mean, if we call the first album, say, a 9.5 out of 10, I think this is a solid 9 or 8.5. I mean, this is a thoroughly listenable album.
I agree. Whether or not it was rushed, I don't know. I need to hear more of what they're doing.
Well, rushed. What's rushed? I mean, these guys are outstanding musicians. They've got a year. A year's enough for guys.
In the 60s, the Beatles were putting out 2-3 albums a year.
But
it's the sound quality, and I don't know if it's because I'm listening to digital tracks or if the sound quality was rushed, if it was to get it out there. That if there was not enough attention paid to the mixing and the mastering.
Yeah, well, we'll never know.
Well, we might.
Maybe we will.
Who else is talking about Atomic Bitchwax right now? Maybe they'll call him.
Yeah. I actually would love to hear a remix, or it'd be nice to get if someone could get their hands on the original tracks and tweak them a little, see what they could come up with.
Are they still on TP?
No, they moved to.
Who re-released? TP, right? Is
TP re-released the first one.
Okay. So somebody else didn't buy out their entire catalog or anything?
No, I think so. The later ones were on a different label.
Okay.
The second and third ones are the hardest to get these days. Which brings us to the third one.
After the third one, it all gets easier.
Yeah, they're all available after the third one.
Right.
I can't find the third one anywhere. It's going to be another one where we're sitting here without having the physical media.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I keep checking eBay, but who knows?
So we're not doing Spit Blood.
Well, let's have a listen. Shall we have?
We did.
When does that fit in chronologically between now and 3?
It was 2002, and we don't need to dedicate an episode to it.
No.
But that was the one where they did the Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
Yeah, so they forced Ackerman to play a rock.
They did, and they did that extended version of Liquor Queen.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll have a listen to that between. But yeah, the next episode we'll focus on 3. But I'll give Spit Blood a listen along the way.
And I think I'm going to dive into Box Riff. I've been waiting because it comes after 3.
So Box Riff is
after 3
live.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's with Finn Ryan.
Okay.
And so
he's playing some of their early songs.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be.
He's playing a lot of the early songs actually. So I was kind of waiting for my introduction into Finn Ryan before I did that. But I'm kind of after a lot of the discussions we've had about these songs tonight. I'm gonna. You can't stop me. I'm jumping right in.
Go ahead.
I'm doing it.
Well, we'll be in different continents by then.
Right.
So the next episode will be 3, and then the one after that will be 4. Yeah, but we'll sneak in some side listens to Spit Blood and Box Riff along the way.
And a la Zeppelin, 4 is where they stop numbering.
Right.
Or Black Sabbath, wherever.
All right,
whoever you want to go to.
Yeah. And they stop girls on the cover as well.
No, they still got the girls. They're just doing different things with them.
No, 4's an octopus.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. But then the girls come back
for... It might be a girl octopus, I don't know.
The girls come back for Gravitron with some sort of
they do reappear
Houdini
later.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Force Field goes back to the space girl. It's all right. We'll talk about all that later.
Yep, all of that is to come. Now, listener, these are troubled times. But hopefully our podcast has given you something to kill an hour in your underground bunker or wherever you're hiding out.
I thought you were about ready to read an ad for Simply Safe or something. Do we have any sponsors yet besides the opening of our beers?
Our beverages, our soft drinks.
How do we get Simply Safe? Everybody's got Simply Safe as a sponsor.
I don't know. Give them a call. Simply Safe, if you're out there, I don't know, send us an email. No, we don't have a sponsor.
Huh. We'll sort that out too.
Yeah, we'll get onto that. Maybe some hand sanitizer company. So our next episode is likely to be remote, in that I won't have the remotest idea what we're doing. Listeners, stick with us and keep doing this. Like, what better time than, a time of socially isolating, avoiding gatherings, staying home. What better thing to do than to grab a CD or an album,
or
if
a
you can
poorly
find
compressed digital version,
if you can find it for the next one, and just sit down and listen to it mindfully from start to finish, track by track. It's a really rewarding experience, so join us on the journey, and come back in hopefully a couple of weeks, depending on how long it takes to work out how to get this thing working.
Be safe, stay healthy, and wash your hands.
Yeah, and wash your hands to our wonderful hand washing song, which you can find in our show notes. All right, listener. see you next time. See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.